Alright dudes, Hayzink here. Welcome back to the channel for another Disgaea RPG video. If you've not already, please consider subscribing to the channel, like the video, do all that good stuff. So, this one is going to be a bit of a discussion video addressing a lot of things that I see quite often in the community, I get asked quite often, and do you know what? Instead of sending back individual messages to everyone, I've decided I'll just basically tackle the three most common questions that I see regarding Disgaea RPG. And the title of this video, the thumbnail at least, might seem a little bit clickbait, but it's not, so I'll just actually start off with that one. And that is Disgaea RPG dying? Now I see this quite a lot. I see people asking, and to be honest, I don't have like a magical answer. I can only really tell you why people have this perception and if I think that it's an accurate way of looking at it. Now, generally you do see people occasionally popping up saying, I'm quitting, I'm leaving this game. And some people probably see that every so often, and that's what is kind of sparking this this feeling that there might be issues with the game's longevity and potential survival of the game. Now, all I'm going to really say is people who watch YouTube videos, people who chat on social media regarding these games, believe it or not, they're actually a very small proportion of the player base, okay? It's the same with every gacha game. It's like the vocal minority. They are a smaller portion, like all of us watching these videos, we are only a fraction of this player base, okay? A lot of people just play their games. They just play their gacha games. They don't take part in the social media for the gacha games. They don't watch YouTube video for the gacha games. We've seen it a long time in the likes of Dokkan and Seven Deadly Sins and stuff like that. It tends to be the vocal minority that take part in social media regarding games, you know, because a lot of people have got better things to do with their time than sit on Facebook and Reddit and stuff complaining about the state of a game. So what I would say is, yes, you probably have seen the odd post saying, I'm quitting, I'm not playing this game anymore, blah blah blah. But for every one of those posts you see, there's 3 or 4 players quite happily playing the game, being content, being happy. And to be honest, there's nothing that I've seen to suggest that the game is dying. I'll be honest, I asked, I said, look, is there any issues? Now obviously, if someone asks you, regardless of who it is, if you work for a company and someone asks you, is this game doing okay, is this game in trouble, you're going to say yes. But the answer I got was yes, nobody's worried about it, they're happy with the game, they're happy with playing the game, they're happy with how the game's doing. So I don't have any real hard reason to suspect that the game is in any kind of trouble. So I think the answer to is Disgaea dying is no, I don't think it is. I think basically it's a little bit quiet just now because obviously people are now starting to become a lot more aware about what's coming down the line, and they're just quietly going about their business, grinding and waiting for new content to drop. I know from my Discord there was some people who were very active, like very active in chatting, and I thought they might have quit because they weren't talking much, and I messaged and it was just a case of, no, I'm fine, I'm just doing item world waiting for new content to drop. So yeah, I don't necessarily think that Disgaea RPG is dying. It's not something that I'm personally worried about. I'm still getting packs in the game. I wouldn't do that if I thought the game was in danger of shutting down. So first question answered. Second question that I see quite often is, there's nothing, well, this is less of a question and more of a statement, okay? There is no content in this game. Now that's something that I come across quite often, okay? And I don't agree with it. Now the reason I don't agree with it is because, quite simply, people who play this game like I do, like I play it constantly, these games aren't necessarily designed to be played like that, okay? These games are more supposed to be, you dive in, you dive out, you don't do all the content in one day, right? Now, Unfortunately, people get addicted. Well, fortunately for the company, but people get addicted to games like this and they enjoy playing non-stop. And if you do play non-stop, you're going to clear off the core content very, very quickly. And you're going to find that your gameplay loop becomes doing the item world, okay? Now, I've seen people saying, oh, the gameplay in this game doesn't change. Whatever you do, the gameplay is the same. I don't really get that criticism because I've played games like, for example, Seven Deadly Sins and Dokkan. That's the two. I've played more than just that, but that's the two I'm going to use as an example, okay? No matter what you do in those games, the gameplay doesn't change. The reward structures might change, the difficulty might change, but the actual gameplay never changes. So I'm a little bit curious to what people mean by, oh, it's the same gameplay all the time. You go into an event, you clear levels, you get points, you trade those points in for rewards. I'm yet to really find a game that changes the way that they play. I mean, sure, some might mix up their mission structure or something along those lines, but the game still plays exactly the same. So I don't really quite know why people have this criticism that the gameplay is the same no matter what you do, but it's kind of the same for any game. You know, games don't suddenly go from being an RPG that you use to you grind up your characters and you level them up to being an on-rail shooter, you know. So I don't really quite understand where people's gripe comes from that the gameplay never changes and it's the same thing. With regards to the lack of content, again, if you are your more casual based player, even now you'll probably find that a lot of those players haven't cleared the story, you know. If you're also someone who is on Reddit, is on YouTube saying this game sucks, there's no gameplay, nothing changes, then you probably already know that we are a little bit behind JP and there's going to be all these changes coming down the line. So it is just a case of waiting, and a lot of these new additions are going to be coming. So I kind of almost feel like it's... I'm not trying to like diminish anyone's reaction to something, but I almost feel like it's people making noise when they know that things are going to change anyway. I did say at the start there was going to be 3 points, but there's actually going to be 4, I've just remembered. The next one, this is the one I just remembered about, is, and I see this one quite a lot, the rates suck, there is no pity, right? Now, the rates are what the rates are. They're comparable to a lot of other gachas, just on the actual rates, okay? They're pretty much the same as any other gacha I've played. In some regards, they're actually higher. With regards to the pitty, again, if you're on social media, if you're on Reddit, if you're on YouTube saying this game sucks, this game has no pitty, then chances are you already know that pitty is coming. I've literally seen YouTubers make videos to say this game is going to die if it doesn't introduce pitty. You already know this game is going to introduce pitty. I mean, you know, because you've seen the game, you've seen what lies ahead. More accurate thing to do would be to do what I did the other day and say to people, if you're looking for pitty, if you want a pitty system, then wait, because it is coming. Just wait, save your quartz for now, get by with what you've got, which you can do, and when pitty comes, then start dropping on banners. Now, I'm not saying to everyone, don't summon. I mean, for some reason, that's the message people got from that last video. If you watch that last video, I say, if you're someone who cannot deal with getting shafted, if you're worried you're just going to put all your quartz into a banner and get nothing, then don't summon. Wait for pitty to come along. Okay, that was the message I tried to get across. If you're someone who doesn't care about losing all your quartz, then summon all you want. I mean, do it. If you're an old school gacha player who knows the risks, who's quite happy well, not happy, but who's quite understanding that they can go into a banner and walk away with absolutely nothing, then go for it, because you understand what is at play and what's at risk when you do that on a banner. But to everyone else, and especially YouTubers who are making videos saying, oh my god, this game doesn't have pity, it's so bad. You guys have been exposed to JP. A lot of you guys have tried JP. You know what is coming down the line. To me, it would make more sense for you to advise the people watching your video that, guys, look, if you enjoy the game, just keep playing for now. Build up your quartz stash. When these banners come along that offer pity, bang, that's the ones that you should go for. Because it ends up becoming a thing that almost every banner has pity, right? As much as some people might say, oh, we won't get pity for months, technically, we kind of already have a sort of a pity on the badass banners. Less pity, more guarantee, but every 5 summons you get a guaranteed 4-star. In some games, that's pity. That's what's considered to be pity. So, I mean, we never even really had to wait that long for us to get it. So, again, I think it's a bit unfair that these scaremongering videos have been made to kind of make people feel like Disgaea RPG offers a completely different experience to every other gacha game, because it's just not true. It's not. I mean, the facts are, if you play different gacha games, and you have done, you'll know that the experience you have playing Disgaea with regards to its gacha system, it's nothing new. I mean, there's loads of gacha games out there that have worse rates, and it's just the way it is. The last one that I'm going to address, and again, I can only really skirt over the top of this one because I don't want people to get pissed off at me again, but I'll say my thoughts on it. And I get asked this quite a lot. Why have so many YouTubers quit making content for Disgaea RPG? Okay, now I can't speak to everyone's motives as to why they have stopped making content for Disgaea RPG. Okay, a lot of the people who put out I'm quitting videos, if you actually look at their channel, they never made that many videos for Disgaea in the first place. I mean, the game's been out almost 2 months, and some channels have got like 3, 4, 5 videos on it, and they decided to make a video saying why I quit Disgaea RPG. Now, I more or less quit Dokkan. I was a Dokkan creator. I made content for Dokkan. When I stopped making content for Dokkan, I just stopped making content for Dokkan. I didn't put out a video saying I've stopped making content for Dokkan. In a way, this is the part that's going to get me in trouble. In a way, I feel like putting out a video saying I'm quitting Disgaea RPG is a bit like when someone goes onto Twitter or Facebook and says, guys, I'm quitting social media. It's like that last ditch attempt to get some attention. I'm not saying people are craving attention, but obviously on YouTube people want views, and I've noticed that saying I'm quitting gets views. So I don't know if it's just a last ditched attempt to get some views on a game that you know you're going to be ditching. I don't really feel that a lot of these videos add anything to the discussion. I've seen ones that just actually just say stuff that isn't true, but again, if you enjoy watching those videos, then fair play to you. I won't criticise you, and if you've made one of the videos, then you do you. I mean, you've got to do your hustle, I understand that, but again, to me, I just feel that it's very much like when you quit social media, and you know what it's like, guys. I don't know if you guys are like me. I hate those posts. If I'm on Twitter or if I'm on Facebook and someone puts up a big message saying, oh, this is why I quit social media, my first reaction is, well, fuck off then. You know, it's like, that's it. It's like, why do you need to tell me why you're leaving social media? You know, just leave. You know what I mean? That is what it is. I don't think people need to declare their intentions to the world. Maybe I'm old school. Maybe it's my age. I don't know. But I feel that all of these things that I've spoke about combined is what has kind of led to people having the fear that Disgaea RPG might be dying. Again, I don't think it is. I don't think it is, because there's a lot of variables that people don't know. I don't know. Like, For all I know, overall Disgaea as a franchise has sold 4.5 million copies across all platforms, right? So you take every single Disgaea game made from Disgaea 1 to Disgaea 6, because it's been out in Japan, including the spin-offs, and all of those titles in the series have sold 4.5 million copies worldwide. So that's PSP, PS Vita, PS3, PS4, Switch, PC, all of them combined is 4.5 million. That's not a lot. That is not a lot. So, as an IP, Bolt Trend might not have paid all that much for this. So, if you counter that in versus whatever they're making as a return, it might be good. I mean, it might be quite profitable for them. And if that's the case, the game's still going to continue to run, no problem at all. So, you can't necessarily hold this game at the same standard as this game and say, well, this game got shut down after 12 months because of blah blah blah. I mean, you're comparing apples to oranges. You don't know. I mean, again, I don't know whether everything's going to be all fine and dandy, but it seems fine to me. There's a community that is thriving. If you're on the Reddit, you can, not the Reddit, if you're on the Discord, you can see that there's a lot of people happy with Disgaea. A lot of people happy with Disgaea, and they say positive things. They enjoy the gameplay, they knew what they were getting into. But if you go to somewhere like Reddit, you might get more exposed to people who are, oh, I hate this. It just depends where you look, you know. Again, I don't think the game's dying. That's the long and short of it. I don't think the game's dying. I'm enjoying it. Hopefully you guys are still enjoying it. I know this has been a bit of a waffle session, but I get asked these questions a lot, and you know, I said before, I don't have time to go through all my DMs and reply to everyone one by one. So this video kinda answers a lot of outstanding questions that I've been asked. Again, I'm probably not going to address this again. I'm just going to leave this video as me talking about it. So, too long didn't read. I don't think this guy is dying, but I'm not an expert on the subject, so don't ask me. Don't ask me. If I think the game's dying, then I will not spend money on it. I won't summon anymore, and I'll probably eventually drop the game if it goes to die. But I won't make a big video telling you about it, I'll just do it. That's just how I operate. But anyway guys, I'm Hayzink. Thanks for joining me on this discussion, TED Talk, I don't know what you want to call it. But thanks for joining me today, and I'll catch you on the next Disgaea RPG video, dudes.